Stop! Police!
Oh, shit.
We have a total of 600 in progress for most of each. Subject is 25 and appears to have shit his pants.
Get back here!
Hey, what's up? This is Community Service with Craig Conant. That's me. Are we rolling?
Yeah.
We just start like that. I like it real weird. Like I'll just be sipping the soda. Hey, everybody. Okay. First, I'm so excited to have you on. Did you know you saved my life? This man, I swear to God. I talk about you so much.
That's really nice of you.
I met you at UCB.
Yeah. How long? What was that? Like 7, 8 years ago?
7, 6, 7, 8. No, at least 7 because I was not sober then.
Yeah.
So 7 or 8 years ago. Oh my God.
Yeah, you were
time's
smoking
crazy.
weed a lot.
Oh yeah.
And it was like very clear in your improv. Where
Yeah.
it was like, oh man, every scene has something to do with weed. I think he's got something on his mind.
No. Yeah, I remember you said something to me in that class too that I'll never forget. Do you remember this? You said, you're like either out of the park home run good or you're like, what the fuck is happening
I mean,
right now?
it was very true.
I know.
So also, it was like level 1 at UCB. So a lot of people were garbage.
Mm-hmm.
You actually had talent, but sometimes you were so weird with your stuff. It was just like, I don't know how to follow what you're doing right now. But then sometimes it worked, and it was like so much gifts that it was like the best scene we did the whole day. You know?
Like two out of 10, I had the gifts.
Yeah.
I flunked a lot. But I just remember when it did click up.
It was epic.
It was no better feeling, dude.
No,
I remember.
I know.
Oh, God. That
Like
shit
that was
fun.
like I felt like, honestly, you in that class, I was like, this guy is the most talented dude in this class and also could fuck everything for everyone.
And also could explode the building.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, that shit was so fun. So the reason I said he saved my life is because I met him. You know what the crazy part is? I just did 2 years at improv at Second City because I was scared of stand-up. I was terrified of stand-up. So I met him when I had done stand-up like 6 fucking times in my life. And he was a touring, working comic. And then I was like, how do you do it? And I say that you told me to stop being a little bitch. But you did it in much kinder Grant Lyon words. But that was the gist of it. He's like, you just got to go do it. Like, what are you doing? You need to go grab a mic. You told me a story how you drove like 5 or 6 hours to do an open mic, and you're like, that's what it takes. And I was like, whoa. And then I listened.
Yeah.
So
I know.
kudos to me because nobody listens.
Honestly,
listens.
kudos. People ask me
thank
all
you.
across America.
Thank
they're
you.
like, "How do you do it?" And it's like,
Go do
"Man,
it.
It ain't a secret."
Yeah.
Like,
Go grab one of these.
and so many times I tell that to people, and then they're never gonna do anything.
Yeah.
And you are like a great comedian now, a great stand-up.
Thank you.
You know?
Yeah. It's surreal. I
know.
You know, you start off doing open mics for 3 people,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden, you get stuff way later. It takes a while. It takes a long time. Yeah, it's just
But you
a
like
trip.
committed because
Yeah.
I could tell when you were asking me about it back then that you really wanted it.
Yeah.
Like there was something about like there was an earnestness in your voice that maybe a lot of people when they ask, they don't really mean it. They're like, "Oh, this would be fun to do." And you're like, "Hey, look, it ain't just like fun to do.
This is all I have, man."
Yeah. It's like a ton of work and a lot of sacrifice. I mean, I think being a comic is like 80% can you handle the like grind and the lifestyle, and 20% are you good at comedy?
I would agree
Like,
with that. It's
you
so
know?
hard.
Yeah.
It's so
It just
hard.
it demands a lot of you, right? It demands a lot of like your personal life and your energy and your thought and all
Yeah.
of that stuff.
it consumes you.
Yeah.
It's all consuming
Yeah.
if you want to make it.
So don't you want to get into it, everybody out there? We're making it sound real fun.
You want to lose everything you
Yep.
have, loved ones, money,
Yeah.
your teeth.
I had a bunch. Oh boy, my roommate's getting a root canal today. Legitimately, and he's
Dave?
Dave's getting a root canal today because he's already had 2 teeth pulled, and he's like, man, I can't get another one pulled. Because like the first 2, they were like, you need a root canal for $1,000, and he's like, how much to pull it? And they're like, $150. And he's like, tight. I'm doing that one.
Dave White, extremely funny. Dave White, God, that guy's funny.
Yeah, he is.
Fucking crazy bastard.
I've
had him on.
Oh yeah,
dude. I with a train of thought. Oh yeah. So he saved my life. Stand up. He said words of wisdom in kind ways. I just it up by him calling me a bitch because it's fun. It's just quick. Pow.
Yeah. I mean, I was thinking that you were just being a bitch, so it's fine.
Thank you. So he gave me those, and then he posted on Facebook. You posted, "Hey, I'm playing dodgeball today. Anybody want to join me?" And I went, "What?" And I joined them, and then you know that saved my life too, right?
And then that's like your number one outlet outside of comedy.
Oh my God!
So I've just got my fingers in all parts of your life.
This man saved my fucking life. You're an angel.
Pretty
sir.
soon, my sister's been divorced. I'm gonna introduce you to my sister. You know,
he gets me a wife, a dodgeball. Wow!
I got you a career, a hobby.
God damn it! I've said this before on my podcast. I don't know, like, if there's anything I'm addicted to as much as stand-up is fucking dodgeball, and it helps me with my sobriety in my life and just...
What do you love about it so much? What is it specifically about dodgeball?
I've said it before, but it's chaotic zen, dude.
Yeah.
There's 7 balls on the court, and you're getting 70-mile-an-hour fastballs at your face, and you can't think about your girl, your man, your cat, dog, your career.
Yeah, it forces you to be in the moment.
You cannot... If you check out, think...
Yeah.
You get pegged in the fucking face.
Well, and also one of the funniest things about, I don't know if this is still how you play, but when we played together, Craig was like, I'm going to stand as close to the front line as possible and I'll get out in 30 seconds, but I'm taking 3 people out with me, you know?
I don't give a fuck. Yeah.
And you were just like the first one out all the time, but you were just like, I don't care. I'm just, I'm going to go get in line. I'm going to come back in. I'm going to go right back to the front. There is no dodging with Craig.
I'll kill
There's
them all.
only balls.
Yeah, dude. Well, 7 years later, I've gotten a little bit more safe than that, but I'm still that guy. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Just get this shit cracking. I need it cracking.
Yeah.
When people are dilly down, like, give me that fucking ball. I'll fuck shit up.
Tom, you're like the guy in like a board game that just comes out of the gate like guns blazing, where you're like, there's secret roles, and you're like, I'm this guy. I don't care if it's a secret. I'm killing you. I'm killing you.
I'm still that way.
Yeah.
Still like in open gym, it's relaxed, but sometimes we play league and it's like playoff games, and like the captain called timeout. They're like, all right, play conservative.
Yeah.
There's 2 guys left. We need you, bro. That guy sucks. And I'll be like, all right, no problem. And then I'll go, ah!
And then as soon as the whistle goes,
just run up to the
window.
line, and then I'm like, oh, that was stupid. I could have stayed back 50 feet. Instead, I went to their side and said, like, hey, how are you doing?
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. It's so exciting.
Yeah, it is fun.
I'm literally going like this right now, like a 4-year-old.
Dude, you got to keep like a dodgeball in here at times where you could just grab it whenever you're feeling stressed out.
And just walk
Jonesing.
over. Well, I said walk over, knock over my water cooler. Man, I fuck shit up a lot.
Yeah, it is fun though. And then like, are you the guy though that's like, because I didn't get the sense from you before, like you're still having fun the whole time.
Oh, I
never
hate
like
the angry bastards.
Yeah, because there's those guys that just take it too seriously, and you're like, man, this ain't what we're doing right now.
I always say this shit, and I'm like, yo, we're 30-somethings playing dodgeball.
Yeah. This is
What
a
are you
4th
doing,
grade
bro?
game. Like,
calm the fuck. You know, like what? Just
or like
going.
there's like dudes that are clearly cheating out there,
dude.
where you're like, really? This is what you need to validate yourself? Is winning the dodgeball game?
Oh, sure, that didn't hit you in the back, Carl. Like, get the fuck
know.
out of here, man. Yeah, cheaters will get me mad. That's the one thing.
Cheaters,
you're like, dude,
this
dodgeball.
When I almost got fired because I was so mad at a cheater one time, where my job that helped put me through college was I was a nanny during the summer for a family of 3 boys. And they had airsoft. Do you know what it is? It's like paintball, but with like the little pellets. And they were super into airsoft. And they were like, 10, 12, 14. So they were older. And they would have like friends come over. And we'd play like this big airsoft game in the backyard. And one of their friends just cheated all the time, and I couldn't handle it. And also, I'll say, like, I'm like 19, so I'm not like super mature
Yeah.
yet. And this one kid I kept shooting him, and he kept being like, "You didn't hit me," and I was like, "You motherfucker! I'm watching it hit you." So he was like, "No, it didn't hit me," and I walked right up to him and just shot him in the chest from like inches away. And I was like, I mean, he's like a 13-year-old kid, and I just walk up to him and I shoot him right in the chest, and I'm like, "Did that hit you? Did that hit you?" And then he just started crying. Yeah, he just started crying, and I was like, "Oh man, I feel like that was not an adult thing to do."
Maybe he stopped cheating after that.
Yeah, hopefully.
Maybe you guided him in the right direction like you did me by calling me a little bitch.
I mean, that's what I did to him too, for sure.
It's just you gotta call people out on their bullshit. It's the
Yeah.
only shit that's ever made anybody change.
Well, I had to like walk away from soccer for a while because I was like a college soccer player, and then I realized after college that I was being that like asshole
yeah.
guy, and I was like, "Oh, I need to like not play for a while so that I can like retrain my brain and come back and like have fun at it more."
yeah.
You know? Like, because I was playing a pickup game like a couple years after college, and this dude and I went shoulder to shoulder, and he fell down, and he like was like, "That's a foul," and I stood over him, and I was like, "It's only a foul if you're a fucking pussy." And then
that's awesome.
and then like immediately I was like, I'm gonna go.
sorry.
I'm gonna go. I get it. This ain't the place for that, you know?
I'm gonna go get some water and not come back for 6 months.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't touch a ball for like 6 years.
No, but that's
after
good
that.
though, because like we all do that gnarly shit.
Yeah.
And as long as my whole thing is that's fine to do that and acknowledge it and be like, "Oh fuck."
Yeah, so it's the dudes that don't
It's
realize.
sociopaths and psychopaths that
Yeah.
just be like, "No, it was him," and they step on him like, "Okay,
Yeah.
bastards."
Well, I'm glad that
You
I
saved me.
I mean, you did it yourself. I just gave you a little nudge, so
Yes.
don't give me too much credit.
He was the
But-
flashlight in the
Yeah.
dark cave tunnel.
Yeah.
I don't know the sayings.
I want you to make one of those inspirational posters, you know, that's like prosperity. All you have to do is believe, and it's just a picture of me on it, and just put it on your wall.
I was visualizing 3 words: prosperity, gratitude, grant life.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Yeah.
That's so funny. At the most perfect time too, because if you came in at any other time, it'd be like,
Yeah.
I was toiling
Well,
away in
That's
fear.
that's what I mean. It was on you because you were ready to make a change, and I just happened to be in the right place at the right time. So
Oh my
it's
God.
on you.
You
So good
made-
job.
Thank you. You also reminded me. So I got raided
Yeah.
when we were in class together. When I got raided, and then did you go to the Moth with us that one night?
I don't
with
think
Ron
so.
Babcock and no, okay,
Did I?
I guess not. And then because I told the story about getting raided.
Oh, yeah.
like a day or two after it happened with
Okay.
our class, and then because I never even heard of the Moth. They're like, "Hey, we're going to the Moth. You want to go?" I was like, "All right." And then I went to the Moth, and they pulled my name, and then I told the story of getting raided. But I was such a new booty. I literally was like, "What was I talking about?" And I just went to the audience like, "You guys are awesome," you know? And then I didn't finish the story.
You ran out of
I
time.
just was like, "All right, see you later." And then, so after I got raided, you reminded me that I farted in the class, and she stopped the class.
Yep, I do remember that.
After I farted on the cops. I
mean, it
swear
was-
on my life,
yeah.
I farted on the police in Culver City when I was getting raided, and I was cuffed up in the alley, and they all looked at me like, "You just fart?" And I was like, "Ah!" And my roommates are laughing like, "Dude." Then all I was thinking, I don't know how to make this funny, but when I was in handcuffs in the alley, I was like, I can't miss UCB class. That's all I was thinking. I was like,
I paid so much
I
money
paid
for this.
so much money for improv class.
Yeah. That's why I'm selling drugs. I gotta pay for improv classes.
Come on, let me go. Take me in after class. I don't care. Let me finish the course. That's how I thought. That's
funny.
That's how you know you're gonna be a comic. Like, just let me go to class,
Yeah.
dude. I'll go to jail afterwards.
Well, and another thing we have in common is our love of fireworks.
Oh,
We have
I
both
got
been
some of
arrested multiple times for fireworks.
He's the real one.
Yeah.
That's
I know.
fantastic.
Yeah. I
That's-
never threw any fireworks underneath a cop horse, but
Well,
I did do some pretty dumb stuff with fireworks.
you don't seem like a narcotics kind of guy.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
that's what tends to give you that behavior. What'd you get arrested for?
One time I lived when I was living in San Francisco and I was like 24, 25, something like that. A bunch of my housemates were still in college and they were like having a party at the house, like college party sort of stuff. And I had just had a super bad show. And I was like, just mad when I got home, right? And I got back at like midnight, and everybody's having such a great time. And I show up, and I'm like, I just ate shit on stage, and what am I doing with my life? And I'm living with these these kids are like 22, and I'm 24, and I'm still living with these guys.
And there's nothing that eating shit can just rock your
boy.
soul.
Yeah,
It
big
just
time.
It just
And so I just like walked in and did like 4 shots like in a row. I was like, I'm catching up. I'm here to party.
that's always going to be a good ending.
Yeah. And then like a bunch of people were leaving the party at like 1 a.m. The party was like dying. And I was like, you motherfuckers, I just got here. Let's keep this party going. I got some fireworks. Who wants to do fireworks? I'm like just trying to keep the party going, right? Because I don't want people to leave
You're a
yet.
patriot. You're a
And
patriot.
now I'm drunk, so like I'm like I would have rules for myself when it came to fireworks. I'd never do them at my house. I'd never stay in one location longer than 15 minutes. I'd never do them like in residential areas. Like I had these rules, and so I'd gone for years and years of doing a ton of fireworks but never getting caught.
I never
You never had any rules?
I never had those rules.
Yeah, I was always like going down to a river and like doing them on the side of a river
We
and
would
stuff
shoot
like that.
we would shoot them at our friends' houses.
Yeah,
and like my buddy had a truck and we put mortar bomb, put the tube on our chest and put it out the window and shoot it at our friends' doorsteps. And we were just like, that's not safe.
We used to do with PVC pipes, do bottle rocket wars.
Yeah.
Where you'd have like two guys on a team, guy lighting them, guy putting him, holding the thing, and like the other team's running like paintball but with
So
bottle
fun.
rockets.
So
Yeah.
dangerous, so fun. I got hit in the head with a Roman candle, but
Yeah.
but they explode at the end, so it went boom and it exploded on my head. But it's a small Roman candle,
Yeah,
it's just
yeah,
that
yeah.
diameter. I got one in there, not the massive one. I'm not trying to, but it felt like somebody like sledgehammer punched me on
Yeah.
top. Like I was like,
Did it like burn your hair and stuff?
a little bit, not
Yeah.
too much. It's just sparks.
So then when everybody was like, I was like, let's do some fireworks. I don't want this party to end. So then I ignored all my rules because I was like drunk by that point. So I just like led everybody out into the street. And now I'm like shooting Roman candles at cars coming down the street and
Nice.
stuff like that. And like, one of my roommates comes up and he's like, hey man, you guys have been out here for a while. Maybe you should stop. And I was like, fuck you, man. We're having a great time. So like my roommate got it that he was like, this is dumb.
Yeah,
And I was just like mad and
Grant's
drunk.
going to jail.
Yep. And so then the cop showed up, and I remember like yelling at all the people, being like, "Which one of you called the cops?" And it was like somebody was like, "Probably the people driving the cars."
Maybe the people getting assaulted.
Yeah. And then so like we all just like disperse and just start walking, and the cops get out of the car and come just for me. So someone's like clearly given them the description of like who has been
All right,
doing it.
everybody out of the way. Is Grant Lyon here?
Yeah.
They have your name
So
and
they
social
come
security
up,
number.
Yeah, they come up, they grab me, and they, put me in handcuffs, and they're like, "Let me see your ID." And like when I was in college, I got caught shooting water balloons off the like roof of my dorm building,
Nice.
and they were like, "What's your name?" And I was like, "I'm not telling you." And they were like, "Give me your ID." And I was like, "No." And then they couldn't do anything because they didn't know who I was. So I was like drunk, and I was like, "Man, remember when I did that in college? Maybe I'll do that to these cops."
It does not work with police.
No. And so the cops were like, "Give me your ID," and I was like, "No." And they were like, "Okay." They like literally took out their nightstick and hit me in the back onto the like cop car, and then started handcuffing me. And now I'm like, "Oh fuck, I made a mistake. Let me backtrack." And I'm like, "I said no because I don't have my ID on me. I can go get my ID if you want to see my ID. I live right here, and I'll go get my ID." And they were like, "No, you're going in the cop car." And they put me in the cop car. And then to my roommates, they were like, "If someone can go get his ID, like maybe we'll let him go. I have my ID in my pocket. I'm just lying
Oh
now.
Jesus!
So like
I was
my
thinking like,
roommates-
was your ID in your room?
No,
Like-
it was in my pocket the whole time. But now I like was drunk backtracking because I've already said no. They can't
Yeah.
see it. So now I'm trying to make up some lie of why I said no so they don't just like get super mad at me. So now my roommates are like tearing my room apart trying to find my ID.
Oh Jesus!
They can't find my ID. And I'm just sitting in the back of the cop car handcuffed. And my roommates are like, bringing out my college transcript and being like, "Look, he's a good student. Like, he can't go to jail."
Look, he got an A+.
Yeah. And they brought out my business cards as a comedian. They're like, "He's too funny to go to jail. Like, he's a comedian." And I'm just sitting in the back of the cop car for like 20 minutes. And I remember like they did the good cop, bad cop thing. So the good cop gets into the front seat. And I remember being drunk in the back. And I was like, "Listen, sir, I don't murder, I don't steal, I don't cheat. If fireworks is the worst I do, I think I'm doing a good job."
You're right, man.
And he
You're
was like,
right.
he was just sitting there, just like, he didn't say a word. I just remember he like nodded and then like got out like 30 seconds later. And then so like I sat in the back of the cop car for like 25 minutes for like a long time.
Yeah.
And they were like, my roommates were looking for stuff. They were talking to other people from the party and stuff. And then finally they pulled me out of the cop car and they were like, "Consider yourself lucky. You got good friends." And then
Wow.
they uncuffed me and let me go.
That's the best.
Yeah.
There's no worse feeling than getting cuffed, but when they take them off and
Yeah,
you
yeah.
don't get fingerprinted.
don't-
Oh, that's
Well, the funniest
best.
part was like that was the way worst time that I should have been punished, but I had to go to court for other times. One time I was like, it was 4th of July. My car's like a block away from the party I'm at, and I have too many fireworks to fit into the bag, and I'm like, I'm walking a block. I'll be fine. Dumb luck. I closed the trunk of my car. I got all these fireworks in my hand, and I turn and step onto the sidewalk, and a cop just happens to be walking down the sidewalk. And I like turn and like bump into a police
You're like,
officer.
"No, this
and I
is-"
was like, "Oh!" I was like,
Hey,
"Oh!"
how are you?
And he was like, "Take a seat, son." And I was like,
Oh God! You know what though? Honestly though, cops, I know you're listening. You love me. Go fuck yourself if you're arresting people for fireworks. Maybe mine, if the horses, I kind of get
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But that, come on,
dude, I wasn't doing them. I wasn't. And so I like, I didn't, because I'm thinking like, oh man, that other time was way worse and they let me go. So like I sit down on the curb, then he pulls out his handcuffs and I'm like, dude, are you like, I just sat down. I'm not even doing the fireworks and he's handcuffing me now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, can you just take the fireworks and let me go? And he goes in like the shittiest way, he goes, "Oh, I'm going to take the fireworks." Like that.
Yeah, go fuck yourself, fucking nerdy Nelly.
They charged me with a felony. They charged me with a felony for
Yeah.
turning and bumping into a cop holding fireworks that were unopened. They were all in their packaging, and they charged me with a felony. So I had to like get a lawyer and like actually go to court a bunch. I had to go to court
This
multiple
is why I
times
have
and
such
stuff.
hatred for the cops. I know there's some good ones out there, and there's also some racist, murderous bastards. But also the people that just write you up for the most simplest thing like that, and you charge them with the felony. It's like, come on, dude.
Yeah. So that I had to.
I hope your daughter gets charged with the
So I
felony.
got a lawyer and I got it down to a misdemeanor and stuff
Yeah.
like that because they were like, I was looking at a year jail time for a felony for fireworks possession.
Yeah, I've been there 2
Yeah.
times.
Still can't do TSA pre though. Don't know about you.
Oh shit! I never thought about that.
We've been convicted of a crime for explosives. It counts as an explosive. Can't do TSA pre. It's real bullshit.
That was on my to-do list.
Yep. Well, it ain't
TSA
happening, bro.
pre-check. Really?
I mean, I don't know where you're at with like how long ago it was, because sometimes you can get that stuff expunged from your record. So if you get it expunged, then you can do it. But if it's still on your record, you probably won't be passed.
All right, I gotta call my lawyer. I could get it expunged. It was supposed to get expunged, but my original lawyer stopped practicing law and disappeared. And I remember Googling him for JFL because I was like, oh, I got to see if this shit's expunged. I don't know if I'll get into Canada.
Oh, yeah.
And then I Googled him, and it was something laughable. Like, I should have screenshot it, but it said, like, canceled for business. Like, I was just like,
I wonder if he like
Who says
lost his
canceled?
license or something.
like, it didn't say,
Yeah.
like, no longer in it said, like, canceled. I was like, what is this, a sitcom? What happened? And so, thank God I got in, because it was a long shit. This is like 9-10 years ago. So I don't know how that shit
Yeah.
works. But I definitely need to get it expunged because I want to go to TSA pre-check.
Yeah, I know. That's on my to-do list this year too. Is get it expunged and be qualified for
Yeah, because
TSA pre.
God, fuck that.
It's nice. It's
Yeah.
nice to have.
You don't have to take your shoes off.
Yeah, I know.
You don't have to go in the cancer cooker.
True. Yeah.
Wow, that's so funny. Kindred spirits,
Yeah, a
baby.
little bit.
That's fantastic. What else? That's all I got. This
Yeah.
is right where I hit like.
This is
That's why I have guests. I'm like, help me. My brain's tired. These are so good.
Do you still got a good relationship with Trader Joe's?
Yeah, I shop there all the time.
Yeah.
Um,
You still know a lot of people that work there?
yeah, half the staff. I love seeing the staff. You know what is annoying though?
What?
Seeing the customers, because I worked there at that location for 9 years.
Yeah, yeah.
So seeing customers, I rang up for 9 years and they go, hey, I haven't seen you in a while. You know that? Oh, I hate that, dude. The customer, some of them, of course, it's awesome. And I'm like, hey, good to see you. You get it. You hi, bye. We fucking
Yeah.
make
We
a
ain't
fart
friends.
joke. You
We
know?
ain't friends.
And some of them are like, what are you doing? And I'm like, ah.
I mean, tell them to come to a comedy show.
I just
you
go
know?
comedy. Oh, yeah, let's paying the bills. That's how they sound. Like, oh, get the fuck out of here. Yeah, that's annoying.
Yeah, for sure.
What are those stories that you just told, like something that made you wake up and learn lessons?
Man, I'll tell you one of the best stories I have from comedy that really helped me learn how I wanted to be a comedian.
Yeah.
Was I started in the Bay Area, and when I was 3-4 years was when I first started going on the road. And it was sometimes not great shows, right? They're like casinos or one-nighters in Southern Oregon or stuff like that. I was happy to be doing them, but they're not amazing shows or whatever. And there's this casino, and I was featuring, and I remember the first 3, I don't know about you, when you felt I felt 3 years in is the first time I wrote a joke that now I look back at it and I'm like, that was a good joke, right? My first 3 years was just a bunch of garbage, just trying to get comfortable on stage. And about 3 years in, now, not that I was an amazing comedian, but I can look back and go, I had some good jokes.
That's a good joke. Yeah.
Yeah, there are good jokes. There are jokes that and it's not an hour of that. It's 10 minutes of shit where I'm like, that was good. I still stand by that material or whatever.
I've only really talked about my weird stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
I never really wrote
Well, that's
jokes.
good. For my first 3 years, I think I was just I wasn't very I was dating's weird, you know, that sort of stuff. I just wanted people to like me, clearly. And then when I was about 3 years in, I stopped thinking what will people find funny, and started thinking, what do I find funny, and let me write about that.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's when you get good, is I'm going to make what I think is funny to other people, rather than thinking
much
about
better.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it also makes you more unique. It gives you a voice. That's what a voice is.
And it just, when you're talking about shit you love and are passionate about or you find funny, you're going to talk about it differently, too.
Yeah, yeah.
You're just going to sell it more because you're like, no, motherfuckers.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
this is...
Yeah,
The
this is
cat's
what I
meow.
believe. And so I was doing this casino in Southern Oregon, and there were 2 shows, 7 and a 9:30. And the stuff I had been writing before was cute, fun dating stuff, but I was over it. I did not care about it. It was not stuff I wanted to be. And all of the stuff I've been writing since then had been maybe it was a little bit more intellectual, maybe a little more political, maybe a little bit more unique to me and stuff like that. And so I went up and I did that more unique stuff on the first show, and I ate a dick so hard on stage. I'm talking I did 30 minutes and got 3 or 4 laughs the whole
Oh,
time.
yeah, comedy will do that.
Yeah. And then the headliner, I can't even remember who the headliner it is, But I remember the headliner being this hacky ass road bullshit who just came up and crushed,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And people were like, yeah, that is how Asian people drive. Oh, I can't believe you noticed that. You know, that sort of stuff. And you're like, God. And I watched like 10 minutes of the headliner, and then I walked into the green room and I cried, you know, because I was still at the age where like, now if like I don't get laughs, I'm like, man, I'm sorry, you guys suck.
Yeah.
Like, it's like I know I'm good at this point, and like I guess you made the wrong choice with your evening, and I feel bad for you, but it ain't gonna affect me.
It is a crazy lesson, because I saw that too. So like some, you know, old school road dog hack shit, murder, and then like good weird stuff that
Yeah.
kills. In other markets, just nothing.
Yeah.
It's like, oh no, you guys suck.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
suck. You're 20 years. You know, you're just stuck.
Yeah. And so I remember I cried in the green room, and then I gathered myself, and I remember actually having this, you know, I think it's very rare that you recognize a fork in the road when you're actually standing at that fork.
Yeah.
Right? And I was sitting there in this green room after I've just cried, and I got to do a second show, and I'm like, okay, this is where I decide, who am I as a comedian? Who am I as a comedian? Because I'm going to go on to that second show, and I can do all this bullshit stuff that I wrote in my first 2 years of comedy that will probably get laughs, and I don't care about. Or I can commit to the stuff I believe in, and I'm probably going to eat shit again, but I believe in it.
Yeah.
So what am I going to do?
Ooh, it is exciting. We should have
Right?
music. Dun dun dun.
Yeah. And so I was like, honestly, I think I'm going to be more fulfilled as an artist, and I'm going to go farther if I commit to like my own voice and like who I am and
You're
what
crazy.
I
I'm
want to
a pussy. I would have chose laugh. I would have chose laugh. I'm like, I
Yeah.
don't want to cry again. I have no feel good about myself.
But I remember feeling like that, and I went on stage.
Anybody have any coffee?
I went on stage on the second show and ate just as much shit as I did.
thought you were gonna
the
say you
first
ripped.
show.
I swear to God,
Nope.
I was like, and I ripped it.
I ate so much shit and had such a great time doing it.
Welcome
that
to comedy.
That first show, I ate shit and I felt so bad about myself. And that second show, I'm like on stage, like jokes are getting no laughs, and I have so much confidence because I'm like, yeah, I'm committing to me, baby.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and nothing's getting any laughs, and I'm like laughing and like patting myself on the back, like during this. And these people in the audience are probably like, why does this guy think he's doing well?
Somebody just goes, "Hey, buddy, you actually suck."
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And I was like, I
Lose
know,
the
isn't it
confidence.
great? Isn't it great? I do suck here, and that's okay. Isn't it great?
Stop feeling good about yourself.
Yeah.
We hate you. Oh
but-
my God, you made me remind. I've talked about it before, but I was in Dubuque, Iowa. It was a daytime casino gig
Yep.
at like fucking 3
Was it
p.m.
Diamond Joe?
Maybe Dubuque. I don't know.
Dubuque, Iowa. I've done a casino there. Diamond Joe.
Yeah, it was awful. It was the tail end of like a tour. I went with Eddie If, and it was just like one final stop, like a check. I didn't even know what a check grab. He's like, "This is a check grab." He's like, "You're not gonna learn anything. You're not gonna grow. You're not gonna get this." They don't know who you are before, during, or after. You'll
Yep.
just do the time.
Yeah.
Grab the check.
Sometimes it's just a job.
Yeah, and then right as I was walking on the stage, he says to me, he goes, "Hey, you're going to bomb." And I was like, 2-man show, cold open. I do 30, he does an hour.
Yeah.
An hour and a half show. He's like, "Do your time." And I'm like, "Oh, man." And I knew it, and I
That's
got
all
up.
he's thinking about. Is he's like, this motherfucker better do 30 minutes because I don't want to fill this time.
I don't want to do an hour 20.
You're gonna bomb. You're gonna do 30. Right? Totally.
And then, of course, I just eat shit. That was like, dude, they looked at me like I was an alien. That was the first time ever where I looked at them and they're looking at me and they're going, "What are you?"
Yeah, they're going like, I don't know who told you were doing comedy, but you have been misinformed.
What are you, sir? Oh, I forgot. They're all old people.
Yeah.
I'm not making fun of old people. I'm just saying my old white people and my style of comedy, not so much. Not so much. Silver foxes, and I mean old, I mean like 60, 70, 80.
Well, they probably can't even give the best. Like, old people are still of that, like, that mentality where they're like, this guy's got long hair.
Yeah.
Was
Oh,
he
yeah.
trying to be a girl or is he
dude.
on drugs? Huh?
I was a Sasquatch.
I don't
then.
like him. I don't like him.
It was, and I just ate shit. I was killing with like one table.
Yeah.
That was 50 tables, you know. Like I remember just like, I was one young like son or something,
Yeah.
you know, a nephew, whatever. He was like, I enjoyed it. I'm like, well, what about the other 250 VIP Dubuque, Iowans?
I don't know how you feel though, but I'm at the point now in my career where when a show is bad, it's a bummer. But when a show is like epically bad, I think it's so fun. I'm like, this is so crazy. Like you're paying me this much money for nobody to give a fuck.
To hate
Man,
this.
It's
Yeah.
like, it's funny to me now.
No, that was two shows. That was
Yeah.
the first show. This is VIP Dubuque, Iowans. And so the second one, like
Yeah.
just like your story, I was like, all right. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get them this time.
Yeah.
And no,
No.
no, I bombed harder.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it more because I was laughing at myself.
Yeah, exactly.
Like going, this is insane. Like, this is not. So the second one, I did enjoy it. I remember digging in deeper because I was like, all right, now I'm doing all my Mexican stuff because
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
you hate Mexicans. But I enjoyed it more.
You didn't even like me when you thought I was one of you. What
Yeah.
if I'm not?
I'm brown on the inside.
Yeah.
And I just remembered one of the only genuine good responses I got was I said, don't worry, I'll bring out your headliner soon. And they all cheered. I go, oh, you are alive.
Yeah. Oh, dude, when I was like a year and a half into comedy, I got one of my first paid gigs was opening in a place in Santa Cruz where I went to college. So I was still in college, and I'm like, you know, I'm getting paid $50 to host this show. The headliner and the feature are coming from Los Angeles, and they're late, but the show wants to start on time. So they're just like,
Why would
go.
they do that? Why would they do
You
that?
can just go, just keep going. And in my head, I'm like, oh boy, I don't want to like mess this up. Like this is my first time hosting here, so I'm just gonna say yes, right? Because like they're asking me to do this, I'm not confident
You don't
enough
know
to
better.
say no.
Yeah.
Like this is a bad idea. So I have like, I've probably never done longer than 15 minutes on stage at that point. And I do 30 minutes on stage.
Oh, no.
Where like the first 15 minutes I do pretty well, right?
Yeah.
And then the next 5 minutes is like, okay, I'm like pulling out premises that never worked. And I'm like, I'm doing jokes that never worked and just trying to like get them to work. Okay, so like they're still like okay. So now I'm 20 minutes in. So then like the next 5 minutes, it's like real bad, but I'm still doing jokes.
Yeah.
And then the last 5 minutes, I'm like, so where are you from?
What's up, guys?
Santa Cruz. Oh, that's where we are, and that's where they're from too. You guys are
I'm gonna take a
both
break.
from Santa Cruz.
You know each other?
And then I remember, and it was just so bad, right? Because I've got nothing else to say,
Yeah.
and I'm just trying to stay on stage. And I remember somebody was like, "Hey, when's that guy from LA getting here?" Or like he was like, "When's that guy from LA coming on the stage?" And I was like, "Oh, I wish I knew, bro."
I wish you walked in right now and said, I'm here.
Yeah, and so I did like 30 minutes, and finally someone passed me a note on stage being like, "They're here now." And so I was like, immediately I was like, they were like, "They're here now," and I was like, "I don't care if they're in the bathroom. I don't care. Like, are they here? They're here now. Okay, hey guys, they're here now. We're gonna have this show.
Yeah.
Keep going." Like,
Hey, comedy clubs, wait till there's another comedian.
yeah,
That's happened to
Ugh.
me so many times too. And even in recent times where I don't care to do time, but I'm like hosting, it's like, why don't we just wait till someone's here? You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to do 30 up top with 12 people. Like,
yeah.
Like, you're paying me $12. Like,
yeah. It ain't worth
it
it.
ain't worth it.
Yeah.
It's funny how your shit switches. Like in the beginning, I still like long sets because I just started headlining this year. I don't have too many reps, but it's already started to where like I'm like, wait, like how much are you paying me? You want
Yeah,
me to
yeah.
do that? I'm
Yeah,
like, that's
yeah.
hard. Like, you're not paying me.
That's like a real job,
Yeah.
man. The worst is like some comedy clubs have 3 shows, and you're like, man, I'm at this club for 8 hours.
Yeah.
You just made it an actual job.
Yeah.
Like, I gotta be in this club from 5 to like 12:30.
I saw that on one of my
Uh.
dates where it's 3 shows. I said,
Yeah.
hey, that's a lot.
It is.
That's a lot of time.
It is.
I'm tired.
Yeah.
And my memory, this is all new territory, but it just started at like 2 shows one night, but like, did I say that already?
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure.
And I'm like, was that, they just mashed together.
yeah,
and
when
when
you're
it's
like,
gonna
I
be
can't
3,
remember if
I'm
that
like,
was the first show or if that was just me thinking about this show or what.
oh, dude, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's hard.
Oh.
I need my ginkgo biloba.
How do you like headlining though? Now that you're
It's
headlining,
nice, dude. I'm still terrified. I've been lucky so far. So the markets I've done, I know I'm gonna hit a room that doesn't know who I am or give a fuck or like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Like hack shit. They want hack
Yeah.
shit, and I don't possess it.
Yeah.
I don't have it. I don't know how to do it. I don't
Yeah.
want to know how. I kind of do now because I'm like, I'm going to eat it. And I know
Yeah.
that's going to happen. It hasn't happened yet, but I'm waiting for it.
It'll
when
happen.
You're waiting for that knockout punch.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I know it's coming.
Yeah.
I've been warned. I just already knew.
I feel like if you're not though bombing ever, it means you're not pushing yourself.
Yeah.
You're not like trying new things. You're not getting into new places. You're not like there are guys that just get addicted to killing, and it's like, oh, that's why you've had the same hour for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
You're addicted to killing, and you won't take the risk of like trying a new 10 minutes that might not crush.
Yeah.
So don't get to that place.
No.
Uh-huh.
I'm scared. I'm scared. Because I know they're going to look at me in some markets like I'm an alien.
Yeah, but that's part of it, man. You just find your people. Yeah. Where are some of the places you've headlined now?
Just some one night. I did Huntington Beach,
Nice.
Brea.
There you go.
They flew me to Milwaukee. I
Yeah?
just did Reno.
Okay.
I'm doing Vegas next
You
weekend.
did the Laugh Factory in Reno?
Reno Tahoe Comedy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I know that guy.
Yeah. He's
Wayne?
interesting. Yeah.
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 I used to host for him a bunch because I lived in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
So it was it was always
Yeah.
weird, but cool.
Yeah, he was cool, man. Bought me
Yeah.
sushi. Thank you, Wayne. And yeah, so in May and April, I'm gone like every weekend. I'm like, oh, here it is. It's just been sporadic.
Yeah.
Of course, I've headlined a bunch of shitty bar shows, but I don't really count those.
Yeah. Well, congrats, man. You come a long
Thank you,
way.
bud.
Look at you.
Thank you. I remember when I met you, I think I smoked meth in that class.
That I wouldn't be surprised.
Was that that class? We were like, this guy smoked meth and he got raided.
Yeah.
I see a pattern here.
Well, that's nice.
Farted on the cops and the teacher.
Yeah.
Was her name Trisha?
I don't remember.
She stopped the class. She goes, did you just fart?
I mean, to be fair, it was like real loud. I mean, I think everybody was thinking it.
I thought I was going to be quiet. I really did. And then she stopped. I was like, yeah. She's like, that's fucking disgusting.
I mean, it was real bad. I remember that. There's not too many farts I remember. I definitely remember that one. It's like one of those ones where you can like taste in your mouth, where you're like, oh, yeah.
What am I going to do? Going to hold it?
Yeah.
I'm not going to push. I have to. The good Lord give me a flexing sphincter. I couldn't think of the right verbiage there.
Sphincter's always a fun word to say, though.
Sphincter's good.
No.
It's a great word. Speaking of sphincter, have you guys got any epic poop stories where you shit your pants?
I've never shit my pants.
Oh, come
before.
on. You
I
play
know.
soccer.
I know, it's true.
You run a lot.
I have this like weird constitution. Seriously, like what I went to Costa Rica with all my college soccer teammates, and everybody got like the shits from like eating the fruit and like drinking the water, and they just weren't used to it and whatever. It wasn't like bad. It wasn't like Mexico bad, but it just like you know,
didn't
it's
get
like
the
people. Never once. The whole time there. Drank all the water, ate all the fruit, never had anything. Yes, there was a dude on our team. I remember we were playing a game against like a professional team in Costa Rica, and this guy was like, "Coach, bring me out, pull me out." And the coach was like, "Why?" And he was like, "I need to come out." And he was like, "Are you injured?" And he's like, "Get me off the field." And he was like, "I don't know." He like looked to the bench. I was on the bench, and he was like, "What's happening with him?" And everybody was like, "Oh, he's got to take a shit for sure." And so they subbed him out, and he didn't even come off the sideline. He just ran off the end of the field straight into the bathroom. Yeah.
That's so
everybody-
funny.
And I'm never like, yeah, I know.
Wow,
It's weird.
How, in my mind, I just don't understand it because I've shit my
Yeah.
pants so much.
Have you?
Oh my God! Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm
So
not,
many
like-
times.
I'm not saying it'll never happen. I just have always had like a pretty like strong. I don't get sick very much. I don't like do. I just none of that stuff has
I
affected
make
me.
poor choices in diet, and I always push every far down.
Well, and I also like. I have now we're getting into real like old guy territory. Like I have very regular bowel movements every day.
I wish.
After I eat breakfast, I take a shit. Like every day, like clockwork.
Damn, I need to change
Yeah.
my life.
I'm still here to like help you improve your life.
He got my bowels moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
But I wish, man. I wish.
My tummy's all fucked up.
Yeah.
I probably am lactose intolerant, and I just don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I'm going to eat ice cream and cheese.
Did you ever do the allergy tests and stuff like that?
I don't want to know.
Yeah.
I probably should.
I'm like allergic to so much. I'm dumb about it. Oh man, you want to hear I've done plenty of dumb stuff. I'm like super allergic to horses.
And you went horseback riding?
No, I went to medieval times because I didn't think about that being like a whole horse show.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, this seems dumb and fun. And then it ended up putting me in the hospital, like an hour in medieval times.
Damn,
put me
you're
in the
that
hospital.
allergic?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I've never
Like-
had that type of shit ever. It's so weird to me. This is the thing. What, your throat closes up?
Yeah, I mean, I have asthma, and so I just like horses are some of the worst thing for me. And it's like I've been to like a rodeo before, and it's been okay, but like those are all open air. You can
Yeah.
walk away from the medieval times is like roof. The horses are right there. We had front row tickets because
Oh,
we were like,
no.
this is gonna be hilarious. And then like I sat down and like 10 minutes in, I was like, oh, this is gonna be a problem. Like I can tell this is gonna be a problem.
I can feel myself that.
Yeah. Do you know
So
Shane
do-
Moss?
Yeah.
Shane Moss has a whole bit about it because I brought Shane with me, and he's like, this motherfucker had a horse allergy, and we went to a horse show.
Yeah.
Like, it's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
That's so funny.
And so, like, I like 45 minutes in, I'm like trying to power through, and I'm like, oh, these horses aren't gonna beat me.
Yeah.
You know? I could do this. And then
got
like
this.
45 minutes in, I like walk out, and I'm like, I can't do it. And like Shane comes out, and I'm like calling an Uber to the hospital.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh, we paid money for these tickets. Go enjoy the show. And he's like, I'm not letting you Uber to the hospital, you crazy person.
Good man.
And so Shane takes me to the hospital, and like, you know, people have broken limbs and all this stuff. And I walk in and I'm like, I'm allergic to horsies.
Yeah.
And they like skip me over everybody and take me right to the back and stuff like that.
Get the horseman in here.
Yeah. And so they have to put you on a breathing machine and stuff like that.
So
Yeah.
your inhaler doesn't work at that point?
It's like
not
you
strong
get
enough?
to a critical mass point where
Yeah.
it's like, oh, I need extra help.
Gotcha.
So, I mean, I have an inhaler and all that sort of stuff, but it's like,
God, that's so crazy
sometimes
to
it
me.
just doesn't. Yeah, I've been hospitalized like, I don't know, 7-8 times for
Damn.
asthma.
And it's not like a beast thing. There's no EpiPen.
No, I mean, usually it's like I take steroids for my asthma. I take like an inhaler every day. And then sometimes it's just like if I'm around a bunch of mold or something like that, it'll be so bad for me that my inhaler's not enough.
Gotcha.
You know, when I was a kid, I used to have this. They're called like nebulizers, and I used to have this like nebulizer machine, and I'd be out playing and stuff like that, and I'd have to run home and sit on a machine for like 20 minutes, and then run back out and keep
Damn,
playing.
that's so crazy. My uncle,
Yeah.
like my uncle Terry, my nana said that when he was born, my nana's born in like 19 fucking when was the first
Yeah,
World
she was
War?
born in 19 fucking.
19 fucking,
My
like-
grandma fucks. That's why I'm here.
Yeah, 1912. When was the first World? I remember she was born during the first World War.
1917 was when the United States got into the First World War. It started in 1914 and it ended in
I knew
1918.
you would know that.
Yeah.
Nice. She was born during the first war. She's old as fuck. So when
Yeah.
she had,
She's still alive?
no, she went to
Oh.
92 though. She's
Yeah.
in the closet. I already pulled her out a bunch.
Yeah.
But she, it was such a long time ago that where they're like, yeah, basically your son's gonna die. Like he's just
Yeah, yeah.
sickly, and they said if you let him play and be a normal boy. This is why the older generations are so dope. Because he was a sickly, my Uncle Terry had asthma, allergies, allergic to all this shit. But back in the day, in the 40s, you know, born in 1940, where like, they're like, oh yeah, he's just gonna die. Like, enjoy him while you have him. And they said you can keep him indoors, keep him in a bubble, so to speak. If he goes out and
right.
experiences life, he's probably gonna die. And they just went like, well, we don't want to have that shitty quality of life, so we're just gonna let him go.
Yeah, do whatever.
And then he didn't die.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
congrats, Uncle Terry.
Yeah. Her other son died.
Oh, wow. That really took a dark turn there. I thought this was like a happy, uplifting story.
No, it's very
nope,
sad.
it
His name
still
was
ends with
Rick.
death.
He
It's
died.
still-
and he died. Yeah.
How did he die?
A car accident in a Volkswagen
Yeah, my-
Beetle.
But
And
hear
there's
about
no
this.
engine block. It just crumbled. He hit his head on a tree.
Oh,
bled
shit.
out, and it was in the paper.
Wow. Well, you
And
know it's tragedy when it's in the paper.
Yeah, and they back then they didn't like censor shit, so they took a picture of it. And I
Jeez.
saw this later in life, and he's just laid out on the front cover. And I was like, oh man, I'm glad the times have changed.
I don't need
Jesus
that.
Christ, that's my uncle I never met.
Yeah, my dad had 4 brothers, and by the time he was 50, he was the only one alive. That's pretty nuts,
that's
right?
crazy, dude.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, we really like to bring the podcast listeners
Yeah.
down
Yeah.
at some point.
I have never
know?
spoken about Uncle Rick.
Yeah.
That was the first. He died when he was like 22.
Jeez.
But Uncle Terry's still kicking. Allergies, not inhaler. He's got it all, man.
Yeah.
Boy, that was a dark turn. I just still think it's so funny that back in the day they're like, yeah, he's just, like they didn't,
Yeah.
they're just like, he's probably gonna die. Be prepared for that. And then it didn't happen.
Yeah.
He's 76 now.
So that was like a time when people were like, take him to the desert. You got to live in the desert,
Yeah.
That was like people that had tuberculosis. They got to go live in the desert, man, because the dry air is good for my
Did it
weak
work?
lungs. I mean, I think it probably
probably-
prolonged people's lives.
Probably helped not
yeah,
in
but
all
it
the
didn't,
pollution of bullshit.
Yeah, for sure.
Who cares?
You want to talk about
Got a
other
bit
people we've known
morbid.
that have died?
No. Let's try to get out of this hole I dug. Well, because I realized after I said that, I was like, well, she had another son. He did die. And I was
Yeah.
like, do I say it? Do I not say it? I don't know.
I mean, Uncle Rick deserves a shout out every once in
Yeah.
a while, you know?
He was a handsome devil. He
Yeah?
was a handsome devil. I got pictures of him all over the house.
My dad won competitions when he was like 3 years old for how good at looking he was as a kid. It's weird.
Damn.
I know.
It's crazy. Oh, my Nana. We keep talking about Nana. Keep going down sad. No, she went to 92. She had 3 husbands, 3 sons. She did good.
Hell yeah.
But this is speaking of back in the day. She thought my dad was going to be a girl. I don't know why. I don't know what technology they had, but she assumed it was going to be a girl, and she bought all this girl clothing and dresses and stuff. And then she had my father, and it was
She was
a
like,
boy.
you're wearing this? I don't
Yeah.
give a fuck.
And so they're like, they had these clothes. They're expensive clothes, and they just
For real?
yeah.
And they just, that's funny.
And in pictures, he's wearing a dress and stuff.
That's great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so-
but he's not old enough to care.
No,
Yeah.
no.
That's
So,
funny.
yeah, my dad's a drag queen. And he'll never listen to this. He doesn't know how to work podcasts.
Yeah. Man. I didn't think my family always knew how to listen to podcasts, and then they listened to one and were very upset at me.
Yeah, I
and
know.
was
My
like-
mom listens. She's like, I'm gonna stop listening
Why? Because she doesn't like the stories.
about meth and stuff. I only
Yeah, but like it's also like that's the positive ending. It's
Yeah,
like,
it was
you're
8
not doing
years
that
ago.
anymore. Yeah,
and it was only like 5 times.
Yeah, because my mom is still like, I remember my older sister smoked weed once in high school. Once. 20 years later, she was like, I could probably tell my mom now. She tells my mom, and my mom goes, oh, Wendy, I always thought you were the good one. I'm so disappointed. And you're like, I smoked weed once 20 years ago, and now you're telling me you're disappointed in me?
Yeah,
Like,
old school people are nuts. Like it's just my Mexican side, well, not all of them, but my mom and my aunt are just so old school. They still think it's the devil. Like they're just brainwashed.
Yeah,
Like, yo, it's a plant. It's a weed.
yeah.
Okay.
Because
You
they all
wanna
watched Reefer Madness
Yeah,
in school.
They did.
Yeah.
It's such an impression.
traumatized.
It's like if you want to like call narcotics that, I'm fine with that. That shit ruins lives. Weed, what the fuck
Yeah,
is all weed done?
Is there any part of you that misses any of that stuff?
Yeah, I
Not
definitely.
that I'm trying to like get you to relapse right now.
I definitely miss weed and mushrooms, like the hippie stuff. That narcotic world. I mean, I miss the high, but I don't miss that.
Yeah.
You miss 10. It's just the high. That's all that's good.
All right.
Everything else.
Because I like the only drug
bad. It's
that I've
bad.
ever talked to someone who's sober, and I'm like, is when people describe heroin, where I'm like, oh dear God, I've just made you real like you're gonna go do hair like because anybody, no matter how long they've been sober, if you talk to people who've done heroin, they describe it as like the greatest thing that could ever happen to you.
It is. Not that I was more Oxycontin pill
Yeah.
head, but I smoked that, and it's I say this, but it's like, dude, your home could be on fire while you're sitting in the middle of it, and if you're high, you're like, oh, it's so warm, it's so nice in here.
Yeah.
It's just that's why it takes people out, because it's just the most euphoric, shitty.
I know, it's like, how can real life compete with it?
Yeah, and that's how people get so addicted and they shoot up for 20 years because it just feels that good.
Because
It's
they're
just-
like, man, I don't want to talk to my wife.
yeah, I don't want to feel feelings. Let me just feel euphoria.
These kids aren't going to amount to anything.
It got a lot of my friends. It all starts with pills.
Yeah.
Don't do pills, motherfucker.
Are a lot of your friends sober now?
Some of them died. Some of them went to
Wow.
jail. Some of them are still struggling, still in and out of
Yeah.
rehab. It's insane. It's insane. It's
You're
a terrible,
like the poster
terrible.
child for like successful story.
Get
Yeah.
out, kids. Get out.
I don't know. That's nice.
It all starts with little 500 Vicodins that the dentist gives
Yeah.
you. Watch out, Dave Wade.
I didn't. So I don't know if you know. I grew up as a Christian Scientist, so I didn't take medicine at all growing up.
That's a
So
good
like,
thing.
even when I had shoulder surgery, I did not take much of my Vicodin,
Yeah.
and I ended up selling a bunch of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because like I had all this Vicodin, and I took like, they prescribed me a bunch, and I took a third of what they told me that I should take. So I wasn't like above taking it all. I mean, I got out of Christian Science when I was like 19 or 20, but I just had spent a whole childhood never taking any medicine, so I wasn't used to it.
Yeah, I always took double of whatever the fuck it said. I took
Yeah.
all that medicine. I think that's what fucked my stomach up. It's so much antibiotics at a young age.
Yeah.
Damn, that's so
Yeah.
crazy. My mom's not super religious, but you grew up religious. I never thought
Yeah.
about that. We were religious because Nana made us go to church. That was the extent of it.
What religion?
Episcopalian
Okay.
Christianity, yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like Catholicism light. I
Yeah.
feel like.
Yeah, we were very
Episcopal.
liberal,
Yeah.
open to homosexuality, and
That's
and
cool. That's
priests could be
progressive.
gay, priests could have kids.
Wow.
Like it was, all I remember,
See, I like all that.
it was good. It was.
know?
It was just
Yeah.
like we didn't know. They didn't give a fuck. It was Christianity light. It's like whatever they say you can't do. We'll over here. Get over here.
yeah.
Come on in.
Yeah.
Suck a dick. Suck a puss. We don't give a fuck. And it was.
It's
it
weird.
wasn't
They had
good.
that above the preacher's name.
Yeah,
Suck
like,
a dick, suck
wow.
a puss. And you're like, wow, they're really welcoming here.
Now, grab your Bibles,
Yeah.
open up to chapter.
Most of the time it's a crucifix, but they just have suck a dick, suck a puss.
Chapter Succubus. 16, 17. Puss on puss. Yeah, no, that is very, very good about the Episcopalian section or whatever the fuck it's called. I don't really know.
Yeah.
Liberal.
That was one of the things I liked about Christian Science too, was that like there was no like crucifix up at the front. The only words up at the front was just God is love. So
That
it's
is
like
good,
a whole
yeah.
thing where like the whole idea was, are you doing this with love? You're always supposed to ask yourself that.
Yeah, that's
You're like,
that's
that's a
now
nice way
that's
to
how
live.
all religion should be.
Yeah.
That should be the question. Are you doing this with love? Are you murdering that different religion with love?
Yeah.
Oh, you're using a knife? You're doing it wrong. Say kind words. Fuck you.
And then some serial killer hears that and is like, I love killing. Is
Yeah.
that religious?
No, kill him with love, not murder. The love.
Speaking of which, why do you have all of these knives
I love
sitting
knives.
here? So for
I should have
people,
washed. I should have went
as we're
next.
talking about murder, and now you have all of these knives right here. What is this about?
I should have put my benchmaids there. Damn it. I just love knives. I love them.
What do you what
It's
what do you
I've-
love about them?
I
Just
love
the way they
Okay.
slide into a throat. Yeah, I mean,
no,
like-
no.
Oh, you imagine there to be some pushback, but it just slides in so easily.
Oh, yeah. You never heard a squelch of a man.
Just watch the light extinguish from their eyes.
Yeah. God giveth and I taketh. Welcome to Puss Puss. No, yeah, that's a beefcake.
Yeah.
Burst
You ever
blades.
do like games like this where you just drop? I like to live on the edge, podcast world.
That is a beautiful knife.
I don't know how to put this down.
That was given to me by a fan. I believe Matt Ivy Meds. I tagged him in it. I don't know. Ivy Meds something. But God bless you, sir.
How do you
That's
put it
burst
down?
blades. The Lord openeth, the Lord can't closeth away.
Yeah.
Oh, it's such a beaut. No, I am okay on a weapons level. It's like a weapon, you know. Like I grew up watching Commando,
Yeah.
Rambo 2. when
See,
they
I grew
heat
up
the
watching
knife.
Commando too early. I saw Commando when I was way too young to see it because I watched it at some dude's house whose parents like didn't exist, and it was like I was terrified for a long time.
No, it made me fall in love with weapons. I'm smart enough to know that I'm dumb enough with guns. See, if I have a gun, not on a dark suicidal level, I will be
Yeah.
woo! You know, hey motherfucker, I will play.
You'll just be an idiot.
I will play with it. It
Yeah,
will. If
you'll just
I
be an
had
idiot.
a gun, it will be on my table. I'll be like, ooh, this. I need to touch this as much. My cousin has a Glock 19. I love Glocks. I go over there. Hey, let me just hold your gun, and I
Yeah.
just sit there holding her gun. I just want to be John Wick. You want to be John Wick. I'm
know
not
the-
John Wick. I'm
Yeah,
not trained
yeah.
in any facet. I want to be Rambo. I want to be Commando. I want to be Terminator.
There's a comedian out of Atlanta who's in New York now, Andrew George, whose dad is like a district judge who like puts away drug dealers. That's like his whole thing. And so not only does he have like an AK-47, he's like required to have an AK-47 because he's a kidnapping threat all the time because of all of these drug lords.
Yeah.
His dad is putting them all away.
Yeah,
and so they're worried he's going to get kidnapped all the time and like used as leverage against his dad judge. So he's got like multiple AK-47s and stuff like that.
I'm just gonna say I don't want to have a dad that puts away drug lords. I'd like to walk down the
Yeah.
street in peace.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that
Oh,
being
I
a real
know.
thing? Like, oh, I might be kidnapped by a cartel.
Yeah.
This ain't gonna cut it.
But I mean, you have a whole box of them, so maybe.
Maybe. I just on some man shit, on some just I'm a man. I like the useful tool level, the aspect of it. Like, oh, this is a tool. This can be used for stuff. And
I
anytime
like knives because they cut carrots.
I do. Dude, you don't even know. Like,
That's the number one use for these crazy huge knife blades I have.
yep. It is, dude. I swear to fuck God. Like, I was at my dad's house. He has shitty steak knives. And I was like, oh, I brought this with me. I had 2 knives that day. I'm fucking nuts.
Yeah.
And I bust this out and I cut my ribeye with it. And I fucking was so happy. I was so happy. I say, yeah. Birch blades. Cutting a steak. And, like at Christmas, all my nieces and nephews and little cousins, like the zip ties
You're not
on.
giving them knives for presents, are you?
I have. I definitely have.
Well, you're 7 now. Time to know how to handle yourself.
It's for camping.
Yeah.
But yeah, when they need to cut zip ties, just
Yeah.
and then they just look cool. They look so cool.
They do look cool.
I believe it's Matt Ivy Meds. Let me plug this fool again. He gave me a few. That's Birch Blades, BER.
Look at you.
Getting
a new podcast sponsor, huh?
They give me a beautiful Johnny Weber, Johnny Ivy Meds. Sorry, Matt. I didn't. It's not Matt. No Matt. God bless you. I play with that knife every day. It's a gorgeous knife.
Nice.
It's a beefcake. It's my biggest knife. I normally like smaller knives just because this is a bit intimidating. If you go if somebody needs a string cut off their dress and you whip that out,
You're like, wow, I didn't want you to murder my dress.
and then
Nice.
he get that the guy who makes it out of his garage. He's a firefighter in Arizona. It's fucking badass.
It's weird how he fights fire by just taking knives to the fire.
He chops the flame
I'll
off.
show you who's boss fire.
At its roots.
What
a cool skill set.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll get into that. It seems like a lot of work. I'll just stick to gardening. I'll be like, maybe I'll get into knife making. I'm like, that's hard. Gardening's easier.
You actually are like a good I commented when I walked into your apartment that you actually have like a bunch of living plants out in the front, and I feel like most comedians just cause things to die all the time. And so the fact that you are,
I love gardening.
Yeah,
It's
nice.
it's
peaceful.
It's good, man. When you have an aloe that you've had for 9 years or whatever it is, and it's 4 feet in diameter now, and you got it when it was this big. It's fucking dope, dude.
Yeah,
it's
I get it.
Cool.
I got an aloe at my house.
Cool feeling,
too. Yeah.
If you're looking for a first plant, aloe is a great plant. And you get sunburn, you hack off a leaf, you rub it on your booty.
I know. It's nice.
It heals you. It grows, and
I mean, I rub it on my booty
sunlight.
when I'm not even sunburned.
You're a freak,
really?
sir.
Yeah.
I like your style, soldier. Pick up a knife.
Yep.
No. Are you addicted to knives or any weird shit like that?
No, I mean, fireworks was honestly the biggest addiction I ever had.
I
Like,
have
I would drive across state lines just to buy fireworks and bring them back. But then the fact that, like, I was supposed to be on a show on NBC that I couldn't be on because of being arrested for fireworks, and I was like, oh, I'm going to stop doing this now. So I actually haven't, like, done much fireworks in a long time. So I don't really have, like, it's weird to say, but I don't have, see, this is, like, a problem where I'm like, I feel like you got to take this away from me. Because I'm like into doing it right now.
You gotta have some firecrackers. If you don't
Classics.
If you don't have firecrackers.
Did you ever do the thing? I mean, I was even so much of a. If you take one of these,
slice it open and pour the gunpowder out?
No, but I
Compile
did
it?
try to do that, man.
Yeah,
one
it's time consuming.
No, if you take like a white bucket, this is a fun thing to do. You take a white bucket, you put like a inch of water at the bottom of the white bucket. Then you get a metal can, soup can, something like that. Make a little hole in the soup can, put one of these in it, put it upside down. So in the bottom of the soup can. So you open it up, drain it out so it's empty. Then you put it down upside down in the like inch of water, put this into the hole, light it, put it into the hole so it's just like sticking in the hole, and it'll go boom and shoot the can like hundreds of feet in the air. It's
No,
dope.
I haven't.
Yeah, it's real fun.
Yeah.
We know what we're doing after this.
Yeah.
I mean, the problem with these, sometimes one time this happened to my buddy, because, some of these are like janky fuses and stuff like that. And one time we lit it and it just went off right away. The can hit like over around his eye and like cut all around here, and just like he had an imprint of a can like all around his eye.
That'll
It's pretty
do
nuts.
it. It'll do it. The amount of firework malfunctions. And I can't believe I have my eyes, my face, my hands.
Did you ever hurt yourself at all?
I've had to have so many explosives blow up on me, and I'm okay.
I almost, like, I didn't, not almost, but like I almost had like a bad accident with fingers because I was lighting. We were doing a bunch of fireworks, and a cop came. I was on the bluffs in Santa Cruz, and like a cop car pulled up as I had just lit this. I don't even remember what it might have been, like an M80 or something like that. And so I'm like, put my back to the cops, and I'm trying to walk instead of like throwing it. I'm trying to walk to the edge of the bluff so I can just toss it off, and I'm like walking as fast as I can and watching the fuse burn
you better
down.
throw that shit.
And
Jesus
so
Christ.
I threw it, but it blew up like not that and burned a bunch of my fingers. So I didn't like lose any of my fingers, but I burned
that's
a bunch
too
of
close.
my fingers.
I
Yeah.
remember lighting off single firecrackers like that just in my palm,
Yeah,
just because I'm a psychopath.
that's crazy.
But mortar bombs are the balls
the
with the
big
long
ones.
fuse that you put down a tube, and
Like
I
literally war shit, like
Yeah.
mortars where you're trying to bomb the trenches.
and I remember one was a dud, and the fuse went down to about this long, and I went, nah, it's still good. I'll just light it, drop it, and run away. I lit it, I dropped it, and it shot up and hit me in the face, but like bounced off.
Well, that's lucky.
It's in Carson. All my buddies saw it, and they're like, "Oh, he just got hit in the face with a mortar bomb. Like, something's gone." No, just black and little singes, little sparks.
Wow.
Nothing major.
didn't-
Stayed in my eyes.
Yeah, something like that. That'd be scary. With like, man, losing your eyeyesight.
Yeah.
Would be like the worst.
I
Thing
shot
could
him
imagine.
a double shot mortar off the top of my head. I just put a beanie on and just shot it. That's on tape. I got
This
the footage
is
of that.
like you are the example when parents are like, "I don't want a boy. I don't want to have a boy." It's because you are what they're imagining.
Yeah. There's more. I forgot. We shoot them out the car, like off our chest.
Yeah.
If that malfunctions, like, a Roman candle. I was holding a Roman candle. This one wasn't my fault, but it exploded halfway down. But had I been holding it on they're supposed to shoot out then explode. This one exploded in the tube, and I'm holding it, and it explodes in front of my hand, and I just went, oh, there's still half left. I threw it because I'm scared of it, and then it lands pointing at me, and then shoots at me, and I have a duffel bag full of fireworks. And it's shooting right. I'm like, ah, and then I have to run and get them. It's so fun. Most of that would scare everybody away. I'm like, oh man, I hope for another close call. You know, like,
I don't feel alive unless I'm close to death.
This picture is probably my favorite picture of all time of me that was just caught. This is me celebrating getting off probation for fireworks. While lighting fireworks. And oh Jesus.
So you haven't even like, have you cut back with your fireworks? Because like once it started
kinda
affecting my career, you know, and I was like, I was supposed to be on this TV show and I couldn't be on it. Then I was like, okay, I gotta stop.
It depends. I made a meme of it. Where is it without the meme? It's me holding a mortar bomb high off whiskey. And that's it. Oh well, we'll just do the meme one. I just put "Don't play with fireworks." That's me. Just taking sparks.
Yeah, man.
There's somebody back there hiding. I'll show the screen.
And you just like have your face all up in it.
Yeah. The reason this is so cool. You got that, Chris? All right, I'll just say it. What the fuck am I holding back for? Because my mom's listening to my podcast. I was coked up. I was on cocaine. I was
but
shit-faced.
Mom, don't worry. He's not on
I'm
coke
sober
anymore.
now. I'm almost 7 years
it's
sober.
okay.
You got it all?
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll put that up. So that is an Excalibur mortar bomb. That is the best mortar bomb you could buy before having a license. It has the highest gunpowder capacity before you need a pyrotechnician's license. So if you want good fireworks, get Excalibur. They come in a PVC tube. Like they can't even
Yeah.
have cardboard tubes because they'll blow it out. That's how powerful they are.
Yeah.
So I'm celebrating getting off probation for the whole firecracker horse assaulting incident. What better way than to drink whiskey, do cocaine, and light off illegal fireworks?
Yeah.
In a suit.
Sounds like a real party. Yeah.
And so this party I'm at is in Redondo Beach. We're on a rooftop. It's a bunch of fucking hot girls, a bunch of hot dudes. Just everybody. It's just like it's like a good druggy, healthy mix. It's like, ooh, people are fucking tonight, you know. And I'm at these girls' house, and it's New Year's, and that's when my probation was up. That's why I'm wearing a suit. I light off this mortar, and it's Excalibur.
At least you were classy about it.
And the spark, you know, right? The sparks are so just hitting my face and burning little holes in my cheeks. But I'm so coked up, I can't feel my face. That I'm just, as you can see in the photo, I'm just taking it. I'm just like this. And
You don't even have any like goggles or glasses on.
Look at the people
or anything.
behind me. They're like, ah. And I'm like, y'all some bitches. Let me just take this mortar to the face real quick. The girl behind me, you see her lower back. She's actually absolutely just bunkered down.
Yeah.
This guy is screaming. That girl's fucked up. Doesn't know what's going on. And I'm just look at
I
that.
mean, you really, I know. You're
Calm,
just like not
cool, collected,
not doing anything.
taking sparks to the fucking face, burning my face, my suit. That suit's ruined.
That's when you know you have a drug problem.
That's when you know it's good cocaine.
yeah.
And then it goes off, and then this New Year's, everyone's drunk. So firework, I'm a hero. Yay!
Yeah.
Now I got the. That's pre-comedy. I don't.
Yeah.
I
now I want to perform for all these people.
So then we're on like a deck on a deck. We're on a rooftop deck, but we're high up. Not like super high, but high. Like like rooftop high, maybe a little higher. And I go, and then I have a bottle of champagne right there in the photo. You can see it. And I pop the top, and then I spray everybody. It's kind of an asshole, but kind of cool. It's New Year's. It's midnight. Firework. Excitement. All right, cool. Then I go, and then I throw the bottle down, and everyone moves out of the way.
Off the roof?
Off the deck on a deck.
Okay.
Down at people, and they scatter. It shatters. Okay, he went too far.
Yeah.
Oh, there's more. Then I jump off that, land in the glass. This is a 2x4 deck.
Yeah.
Deck wood. Treated, weathered deck wood. It's so high that I break through the deck and break like 3 2x4s with my body. But I'm so coked up and drunk that I don't, like everyone when they saw me.
How did you not break anything?
That's what I'm saying. When I jumped, everyone went like, oh, he broke stuff. And I cracked out, and I just jump up and go, ah. And then it gets worse. I punched this gay dude in the stomach. He's my buddy, but it's just funnier to call him a gay dude. And then I punch him in the stomach. I jump in the fire pit. I start kicking fire at everybody. I break the bottom of the fire pit, and I almost start a fire on the rooftop of an apartment complex. And then I grab a chair and I smash it. And then it literally went like, oh, like
party's over.
Party's over. And they kicked me out.
Just you or everybody?
No, just me.
Yeah. I mean, I'm on their side in this story.
and then I
I'm
get
like,
kicked out.
You should have been kicked out.
I know. And in my head, I'm like, I'm just trying to have fun, and nobody knows how to have fun. What's wrong
All
with
these
these
punk
people?
ass bitches just talking and being friends.
I'm glad I'm still friends with most of them. I called them, apologize. I bought them a new fire pit. I'm not a monster. I know I fucked up. I buy them a fire pit. The apartment complex fixed the deck. They had new 2x4s, which was also funny. So
and you didn't break anything?
No.
Not like you didn't even wake up and be like, "Ow, my heels hurt."
Oh, are you kidding me? The next day, I was like, "Who hit me with a bus?" Oh, my body was sore for 2 weeks, but I didn't break anything.
Wow, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I know. I got lucky.
That's kind of like an advertisement for doing drugs.
Yeah. If you want to jump off roofs and not break a limb.
Yeah. Cocaine, baby.
Yeah, don't do drugs, kids. Don't do drugs.
Unless you want to have fun.
I did a fire mask. You know how you hold the butane in your mouth?
Okay.
Of a lighter?
Yeah.
If you get a lighter, you hold the button down for butane, you fill your mouth up with butane, and then you light the lighter and you blow and you blow fire. I did that, and of course, me and my buddies were all stupid men, one-uppers. But who's the craziest? But we all were crazy, so it's just it was a volatile mix. Anyways, we're always like, I'll do it. And then of course I was the smart one that always knew how to level up and take command and call them little bitches by lighting my face on fire.
Yeah, that's definitely like a real trend, is that if anybody is perceived to be a little bitch, Craig will have none of it. He's got to do something crazy to prove he ain't a little bitch too.
It's so dumb. It's so dumb. I look back in hindsight, I
You're
was
like Michael J. Fox with the word chicken in Back to the Future.
Yeah.
If someone was like, "Oh, Craig, you're a little bitch," you're like,
I'll do it. I'll fucking do it. It's fun. I was good at it. So I let my mouth fill up with butane for far too long. Like most of these guys are doing 5 seconds, 10 seconds. I was like, I'll do a minute or whatever. I don't know. To where
and everybody was like, "That's not a good idea," and you were like, "I'll give a fuck, do it."
And then I do the thing. I do the trick that I've done a million times before, and I go to blow it out. But I have too much, and it lights, and it goes like into my mouth, and then it lights my mouth, and then a blanket of blue flame covers my face, to where they said it looked like I had a face mask of fire.
Wow.
And I immediately grabbed my face.
That does sound kind of cool, though.
It was cool.
Yeah.
And then I grab my face and I go down and I literally am so scared I don't want to reveal my face to my friends.
Yeah. You're like, I got no face anymore.
I know, I don't have a face. And then I do, and then they're like, and I was fine. I just burnt my eyelashes and eyebrows.
You burn them off, or
just
you just
some,
like
just singed some, because it was like close blue flame. It wasn't quite. You know, it's like, I don't know the science behind it, but like it's not hot enough to, like, you know, you could put your hand through blue flame all day. Don't do this, kids. And then I just was okay, and I just
and you were like, next time I'm trying 2 minutes.
That happened to me so much in my life, to where like, oh, I should be dead or lose a limb or a face or a fingers or eyesight.
How much stuff have you broken?
Only a leg and a foot.
Just 2 bones. That's all.
Yeah.
That's surprising.
I know.
I've broken like 7 bones, and I'm not half as crazy as you are.
I feel like I'm like drunken master, even as a kid, like just like where like I just
you got this rubber body,
Because I remember falling off a fucking big rig truck, landing on my back as a kid, and just getting up. But even as a kid, going like, "Whoa, you just got up and walked away. Like, that was high."
You were like, maybe I got superpowers.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because I definitely should have been hurt more than I have been too.
Yeah.
But I've still broken 7 bones. You know?
I got stitches. I went through a window. I done some stuff.
One time I got shoulder surgery, and the doctor was like, "You got like gaps in your joints." It's like, that was like the easiest surgery I ever did. There's like so much space in there. Like, you want to see something? Here, I'll show you. For people, I'll describe people who are listening afterwards. But I'm not double jointed, but I can do this.
Oh, come on, dude.
So I can bend my fingers all the way back to the.
Oh fuck, man! Oh, I've definitely broken fingers,
and
but
it always gets that reaction. And I'm not even double jointed. That's just me having like a bunch of space in my joints. I'm just all like, I'm like Gumby.
Yeah. Oh shit, man.
Yeah. I don't. People like. I don't know why it bothers them so much.
It does though. Like,
I know.
Now I know how everybody feels when I describe my injuries. Where they're like, "Stop!"
Just my little pinky finger took down a room full of men.
Aren't you glad as you get older that chicken game of bitch just goes like, "Oh, I'll be a bitch. I don't care. I don't need to do that. I don't need to prove myself."
Yeah, once you hit like 25, you're like, "Oh, I was dumb."
Yeah, I was a dumb fuck.
Yeah, for sure.
It's I look back at that just because like I enjoyed it. Now I have stand up. It fills the void. I know what it was. I was constantly chasing the adrenaline rush of people talking about me and be like, "Oh, it's crazy, man." You know, like, and now I just do it calculated with jokes as opposed to losing my limbs or my eyesight. it's a much healthier way to live.
I don't know if you feel like this. I don't do this with like comics, but sometimes with like non-comics or something like that who don't know that you're a comedian. It's like this secret weapon I've got in my brain where someone's like, "Oh, you're not cool enough to do this," and I'm like, "Motherfucker, I'm so much cooler than you."
Yeah.
Like I tell jokes for a
I
living.
tell dick jokes, bitch. And you work
and not
at
that I'm like
Trader
trying to
Joe's.
like, not that, and it's not that I'm like trying to be like, oh, I'm better than you, but it's just like I don't need to impress you. I'm already impressing a bunch of people.
Yeah.
You know,
It's something that's relatively new territory for me. What, a year and a half now of being a full-time comic?
Yeah.
I don't keep track. I should. At least well over a year, a year and 3 months, whatever. But to where like, yeah, it's like a cool card where you're like, oh, I'm just a comedian. I don't have my Starbucks or trade. Not knocking that. I did that forever, and it's part of the game and the hustle. And you got to pay your rent and shit, so don't go quitting your day job.
yeah. I mean, I think honestly, people quit their day jobs too quickly.
Way too soon. I
Yeah.
see it all the time.
People
I
are like,
waited
but
too
I want to
long.
be a comedian. And it's like, no, man. Like you don't
Get
want
stuff first.
Yeah.
Like you gotta build a portfolio of work in order to it to be even feasible.
Yeah, for sure.
I've just people a year in, I'm gonna quit. And like, no.
And
I
you're like,
wouldn't
sure,
recommend quitting
quit,
those 6
and then
years
you'll
in.
get another job
Yeah.
in 3 months.
Hey, are you a rich kid? Are you a trust
Yeah.
fund kid? Okay, then quit. Are you
Yeah.
not that? Oh no, keep your goddamn job.
Yeah.
But there is just a cool card of like,
Yeah, people are desperate to want to be like have that cool card.
isn't it cool though? Where you're just like,
Oh,
I'm
for
a
sure.
comedian.
Well,
What do you do? Oh no, how do you make your? No, I'm a comedian. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, you're
Though,
like,
though I will say, then you get to a point. My girlfriend makes fun of me because now I'm at the point where I've been a full-time comedian for long enough that now I don't want to tell people I'm a comedian.
Yeah.
Like it's gotten to the point where I'm like, man, I'm gonna have to answer all the same questions and stuff. Like not all the time. Like if it's somebody I know, whatever. But if it's like just somebody that's like in a bar and is like, "What do you do?" and you're like, "Oh, I'm a writer."
Yeah.
And then, like nobody asks follow-up questions then.
no, yeah,
know?
that I didn't understand that because I always had that glow and shine. Like I want to tell, and now like in
Yeah.
the Uber drive, where are you going? Business,
Yeah.
business. What do you do? Like I don't want. It's the
No.
same questions.
Well,
It's-
especially in this town where I have legitimately had multiple Uber drivers like be like, "Oh, I've been doing open mics. You want to hear some of it?" And then tell me jokes. And you're like, "Boy, this is awful."
It's the worst.
No.
Yeah,
Like,
where I'll lie to get out of conversations now, just because I don't want to. It's fucked up because they're just genuinely interested, but it's just
Yeah.
I can't explain what it's like. It's
But
just
it
the
is-
same questions over and
Yeah,
over, and you're
it-
like, oh, I don't.
I just don't have the energy for it.
I enjoyed
anymore.
answering this 2 times,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
200 times. I guess
Yeah.
is what it is.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
that's all it is.
And then every once in a while, I'll get someone that like asks original questions, and I'm like, "Oh, this guy gets it, right?"
Oh, yeah.
He like, I'm interested in talking to this dude
Yeah.
more now because you asked
that
original
does happen too,
questions.
but that's like 1%.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
such a.
for sure.
And they're generally podcast listeners because they
Yeah,
just
yeah.
get all the inside information behind the business with
Yeah,
fucks like
yeah.
us to Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's a trip. It does switch. How much time we at? Because I got to pee so bad.
Hour and a half.
Oh, that flew by, baby.
What time are you trying to get to?
At least, generally speaking, I like to hit at least an hour, upwards to an hour and a half.
Oh,
You're a good
we're
guess.
we're on the long side.
I think that's
brush
the.
the shoulders off.
I think that's the longest I've ever asked that question, right?
Yeah,
Without
you've never
normally
gone
I
this
ask that like 30 to 40. I'm like, I
You're
don't
like,
know
"Oh,
how.
please save me.
I don't know how to
Did I
talk
get the
this
light?
long."
Did I get the light?
Straight
Can
up,
someone
bro.
turn on the podcast light?
You're a fire guest. I'm
Ah.
about to piss my pants. Anything else we need to wrap up? Oh, we definitely, as I'm ending the podcast, I stopped talking good. We need to plug your album, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you. I
He
appreciate
just came
it.
out with an album.
It's actually not out yet. It's coming out soon. My major label debut.
Yeah.
It's called Scheduled Fun Time. It comes out March 24th.
Nice.
March 24th.
Extremely funny friend.
Yeah. So I did it with 800 Pound Gorilla, and they've already been like previewing it in full on Sirius XM.
Yeah.
Stuff, playing the album from front to back on Sirius XM and
Nice.
stuff. So I'm really excited about it. So check it out,
Fuck
please.
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
What else? What do you got your notes?
Is there any of this you want to do on this podcast?
Better save it for Patreon. I gotta talk
All right.
more. I gotta do my Patreon after this. It's so hard to talk. Hey, Patreon, if you need more content, I got a list over there. I'm gonna talk about it. Yeah, but I mean this. I talk about you all the time.
Well, I appreciate
fucking
it,
love
man.
you. I don't think you know how much you've influenced my life. He saved it. This man saved it.
I'm just happy for you and that I could play a small part in it because, you know, there's a lot of funny people and there's a lot of good people, but there's not a lot of funny good people, and you are one of them.
Well, thank you,
So
brother.
you deserve everything.
I'm gonna
good
go
that
cry
you're
while I
getting.
take a piss. I love you, Grant Lyon. Thank you for saving me and guiding me in the right
Yeah.
direction. Go play dodgeball. Go do stand up. Listen to his album when it comes out. You'll be tagged in all this.
Thanks, man.
And
I appreciate it.
thank you, man.
Love you too,
thank you
dude.
for doing it.
All right. Later,
All
buddy.
right, bye bye.